Yesterday, a patch for PGA 2K25 dropped, and it is notable enough that I want to make a video on it. Now, the patch notes for this were put into the PGA Tour 2K25 Discord. Some people have actually came into my stream and have asked me, where are the patch notes at? I'm going to put an invite link down in my description for the PGA Tour 2K25 official Discord. Any patch that is made on the game is put into that Discord through game updates. I also post them into my own Discord, where there's a link down in the description below too. And I also usually post them on Twitter for everybody. Also a link to my Twitter down in the description. So if you want to know where the patch notes are, whenever the patch notes become available, they're available in those three places. So if you are looking for the patch notes, you can find them there. Now, there were also some changes not listed in the patch notes that have kind of been found as we've been going, so I'm also going to be talking about those in this video. But the main thing that I want to go over for this video is the first patch note in the patch notes for the update yesterday. And that is addresses reported ranked tours concerns related to events not paying out and MyPlayer swapping. Some users may see ranked tour winnings added to their account. Now, a lot of people in the community raised this concern when the VC changes took place. And what had happened was the ranked tour dailies and weeklies went from 25 and 50 for entries to 50 and 100 for entry. Now, the problem with this is for the daily, you paid 50 VC and you only got the VC back for the round you played. So 18 holes, 3 VC a hole, for a total of 54 VC. So ranked tours kind of became a mode that, why would I play it if I'm only getting 4 VC back for my time? It was a mode that didn't reward me for the time that I was putting into it. So 2K HB, they took that concern that the community had and they addressed it. They added in a VC amount that you also get for participating in that tournament. Now, this change is retroactive. And what I mean by that is, let's say you've played 25 tournaments before this patch went out, you will get VC for all of those tournaments that you played. So when you load up the game, if you haven't yet, you load up the game, you go into the ranked tours, and when you go into the ranked tours, all of a sudden just VC will appear in your VC bank in the top right. You just get paid out for all of the tournaments that you played. Now, I took data for how much that could be. On average, the minimum that you'll get is about 75. The maximum that you'll get is about 115. Some people saw a little bit more. Some people saw less. Those are outliers. For the majority of people, it is somewhere between 75 to 115 for each tournament that you played before the patch. And with this change now moving forward, every time that an event closes and you see like the merit screen, I haven't seen it yet personally, but I will see it today during stream at 7. When you log into the ranked tours, it'll show you how many merits you got. It'll also show how much VC you have received. Now, some people during my stream last night actually got this screen. So instead of waiting a day for it to process, it was actually an instant. Once the tournament turned over, they got their screen showing what merits they got, what place they got, and also how much VC they received. Now, for the tournaments that people completed, it seemed to just be double VC. So if they paid 50 for the daily, they got 100 back. So if they played 2 tournaments, they got 200 VC. Those people, they were in like the 300th place. Another person, Kara, who is very good at the game, got hers back as well. And it was 2 tournaments, a weekly and a daily, for 225 VC. Now, she placed first in one, second in the other. So the one thing that we're kind of still all uncertain about, and we'll know more as more people get paid out, is if there are differences depending on what place you finish. Now, with Kara, it seems to be there is. It is slight. It's either broken down by, 100, 125. It could be, the higher you place, maybe you get an extra like 25 or 50 VC. Don't know how dependent on where you need to place. Like if you place lower than like 300th place, if you place in the thousands, do you only get 25 VC instead of the doubling to 50? That's all something that we just have to wait for more data to come in as people complete these daily and weeklies. But there is what seems to be some discrepancy between what place you get and how much payout you get. And before this change, I was telling everybody, if your goal is to level up, don't play ranked tours. It is a waste of time. Even a lot of the rewards aren't really worth it. I mean, I like the cosmetic stuff depending on what rank I get, but it's like, for some of them, it's like you get 25 VC for getting, birdie 2 or whatever it is. And that's just nothing. So I was telling people, if you're looking to level up, if you're looking for VC, XP, I wouldn't play ranked tours because it's just not worthy of your time. With this change, though, playing in every daily, if you wanted to, and essentially doubling your money and you get your event round still, like every day, if you played all of the dailies, you could get an attribute point. So while it's not like this crazy amount of VC, it is just a step in the right direction for getting some VC back that was lost during the patch. So if you log on and you're looking for, a round to play, 2 rounds to play, you can definitely hop in, play ranked tours, and at least more than likely get double the VC back than what you spent. And when it comes to the VC, I actually did talk about this a little bit as well in my stream yesterday. I think that there's still some main points of contention when it comes to the VC. And I think that those main points of contention, at least for the community, can be rectified quite easily. Now, the quest system was pretty borked from the beginning, and I will take ownership partially on showing people, how to get through the quest system fast. It was quite easy to find and quite easy to do, and you got a lot of rewards for it. But that is now gone. So if that can't come back, which I completely understand if it can't because it's been removed, you would have to retroactively give people VC. And I know that that's something that 2K and HB probably will not want to do. They did it with the ranked tours, which is understandable since people were paying VC in. It makes sense to do that retroactively. When it comes to the quest system, though, now that the VC is gone out of the quest system, I am fairly certain that will be gone forever. So with that, where can we get a little bit more VC to find a happy middle ground with the changes that were made? The first thing that can be done is instead of 3 VC for hole, just move it to 4 VC a hole. I know it's only an extra 18 VC per round, but the extra 18 VC does go a long way for how you're trying to level as you're playing throughout the day. The other thing that can be done, it can actually be done on the fly, and that is updating the daily and the weekly quests. If you want people to be logging into your game every day, then daily and weekly quests is something that you want to put in place so that people can feel that they're being rewarded for their time by logging in every day. Problem with how the daily and weekly quests are handled right now is a lot of them, I don't know how to put this. How do I put this constructively? They're quite shit. Daily and weekly quests should be in place that are more engaging as a player to actually go through. And for the daily and weekly quests, you should actually be able to complete them. Where it is now, there are actually some daily quests that you cannot complete because the way the daily quests are set up is you have to wear a certain piece of gear or use a certain club and then go play rounds with it. Well, in some instances, that gear or those clubs don't even exist in the game right now. And because of that, you just are out a daily quest until tomorrow hits. So the first order of business is to remove all of those. The second order of business, I think, for the daily quests is make it about the game of golf. You have these daily quests where it's like, wear a piece of Nike gear. Well, what if that person doesn't have a piece of Nike gear? Are you now asking that person to go grind career mode if they don't want to grind career mode to get a piece of Nike gear? Are you asking that person to go into the shop and spend 600 VC on a piece of Nike gear to then get a daily for 50? All of those quests should be deleted out of the quest system. The quest should be engaging and should be engaging through the game of golf. Make the dailies to play 2 rounds and score even par, or, get 5 birdies in a round, or get 10 pars in a round. It should be something that actually gets people out onto the course playing the game of golf and getting rewarded for playing the game of golf, not rewarding somebody with something that they might not have or forcing somebody into playing something that they might not want to play. It should be very generalized, generic daily quests so that people can feel that they're being rewarded for the time that they're playing the game however they want to play it. That also goes for the weekly quests. A lot of the weekly quests you have are go get top 5 in 10 Divot Derby matches. First off, finding lobbies for Divot Derby might be difficult. And then you're telling people if you do get a Divot Derby match, you have to play that mode at least 10 times and get a top 5 10 times. Now, for some, like me, I could do that if I wanted to spend the time for 150 VC, but for most people, that might be a problem. For other quests, they also have wear a 2K hat while doing 2K sponsored events in MyCareer. So you're wanting people to go into MyCareer. Maybe they don't want to play MyCareer, but you're telling people to go into MyCareer to then simulate through a bunch of rounds to just get the sponsored events to then do those. Hopefully you get a sponsored event because that doesn't always happen, and then play 5 of those in order to get 150 VC. That's not very engaging. That's not very fun. These quests should be centered around playing the game and playing the game how you want to play the game, not forcing people into playing the game how you want them to. And if we're being completely honest, forcing people into something like Topgolf, which was introduced and has never been updated since it was introduced, you're forcing people to go into a mode that you haven't touched in over 2 years. These quests should be engaging and readily available for anybody who picks up the game to go in, play, and get the rewards for it. This would alleviate a lot of VC problems too. You could even maybe increase the daily quest and the weekly quest just a little bit in order to offset some of the changes that were made, removing 90% of the VC from the quest system. That allows you to maybe fix some of the quest system maybe for season 2, while also rewarding the consumer for logging on every single day and playing your video game. Again, I do not see the VC coming back into the quest that it was dumpstered out of. I believe that ship has sailed, so finding some additional things to do in the meantime, I think would alleviate the problems that the community as a majority has with the current VC situation. And I think that's it, honestly. I mean, if HB and 2K does something along those lines, I think that there is definitely a middle ground to hit for this game. And this kind of turned into a VC conversation again, but I do want to reiterate the changes to the ranked tours is a good one. I will commend them for making this change to the ranked tours because it at least makes the ranked tours not a waste of my time. The ranked tours now respects the time that I put into the mode by rewarding me now with the VC. And for that, good job. Good change. Great first step. Another thing that is good for the ranked tours, something that was kind of kept under wraps a little bit, was that you could just back out and switch your MyPlayer at any point in time during the ranked tours. So if you had all of the MyPlayers set up, you could just back out, go back in, back out, go back in, and just keep swapping MyPlayers out. That has also been patched out. Hopefully that does help some of the leaderboard problems. We just have to see. But for now, that is at least good so that people can't game the system. The next patch note that we have is address reported MyCareer concerns tied to loading screens. They were fairly bad and also sometimes crashed the game. I haven't seen that yet since the update, so that's good. Rival conversations and event pin sets. So there were problems with the event pin sets where you would get into an event and sometimes you would just play the same pin for all rounds. I haven't had a chance to test this fully yet, but hopefully that is fixed. I don't know what the win event quest objective is even. I don't know what the concern was for it, so I cannot speak on that one. But another big thing, is addressed reported miscellaneous concerns tied to screen tearing. This was mostly, I believe, on PlayStation. Might have been on Xbox too. On PlayStation, though, there was extremely bad screen tearing. And during my time playing it for about 3 hours yesterday on stream, I did not notice any screen tearing. I did notice a little bit of like weird jittery lag as like I was following some of the shots, but that was only on certain courses. For the most part, the screen tearing does seem to be fixed or at least alleviated mostly, because I did not notice it in the 3 hours that I played the game last night. They also made some changes to putting grid lines. So if anybody saw the clip on Twitter that I posted about TPC Twin Cities, also the YouTube video that it was in, you'll know that there were some bad problems with the putting grid lines. Some of these seem to be fixed. I don't know if there was updated terrain, updated texture. I have no idea what it was, but some of them do seem to be fixed. The ghost breaks are better. There still are some, but they are much better. So that is also good. I know that people have had problems with some of the greens, and hopefully some of these are alleviated with the patch that they put out. They also said that they did changes to the pro shop. I went into the pro shop to see if anything was different, and I didn't notice anything different, so I have no idea what that is. Problems with the commentary. I've kind of had the commentary turned off for a few days now, but I guess there's some changes to the commentary and also the Korean tutorial, which I have no idea, doesn't affect me. There were also some other things, though, that we found over the course of playing. One of them was the MyCareer. If you ran into the issue of you got into your MyCareer and it was like frozen, wasn't loading, nothing was happening, the only fix that we were able to find in the meantime was just you have to reset your MyCareer. But it does seem if you have ran into that problem with your MyCareer, that is now fixed. You should be able to get into your MyCareer. It should not be frozen or black screened or nothing loading in. A lot of people said that it seems to be fixed. Hopefully it is fixed for everybody. So if you did have a bugged out MyCareer and you've been waiting for the fix to come through, it does seem like that fix is in place. So give it a try and see if it is. There was also limited reports about people going in, playing around, and then when they get to the after screen, some like bug quests were coming through and they were getting VC. Again, limited reports, but that may be the case. If you had a bugged out quest and you've played around, maybe you will see some of those quests come through in the after match report. That is another thing that has potentially been fixed. There are still some quests that are bugged, but you might have some luck with some other ones that maybe you haven't gotten the rewards for. Another thing, this is mainly PlayStation. There was a problem where if you tried to load into a LiDAR course, it would just crash the game. That seems to be fixed as well. So if you have had problems with that, you should be able to play those courses now and not have that problem anymore. And so far, that is what has been found. I don't believe there's anything else. I mean, if there is something else that you found, make sure to leave a comment down below so that I can check and maybe see if it is something that's been fixed. I wanted to get this out, though, mainly because the rank tour change is a good one. It is a step in the right direction towards, meeting players in the middle for the issue of VC. I'm sorry that this video maybe became a little bit of a rant about the VC. I didn't want it to be a rant. I wanted it to be a more of, this is what I think can occur in order to get the majority of the community back on track and not talking about it anymore. Because while at the beginning it may have been a goal to just wait for it to blow over, it's not blowing over. It's still being talked about, and it is hurting the game as a whole. So we'll see what they do. Great first step. Really enjoyed it. Thank you for making ranked tours worthy of time. And I'm excited to see what other patches and changes we get. And when more come, I will make sure to get a video out to let all of you know. In the meantime, thank you for watching this video. If you found it informative, please think about leaving a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with more PGA 2K content. Maybe some MLB The Show content coming next week as well. Leave a comment down below for anything related to the patch or any questions you might have. That's it for me today. I will catch you on the next one.